What do you need to be healthy? That was the question that I heard God ask me in my head as I was sitting across the conference table staring at Chris, trying to decide what to say. How do I help this defeated 14-year-old who in a fit of rage had tore up an entire classroom? You see, Chris was on his 12th living environment since being placed in foster care at the age of 6 due to domestic violence and extreme abuse. I asked him to look up at me, and when he did, I asked him that question: what do you need to be healthy? He stared back at me for what must have been a minute, and then said back, "Miss Katie, I have no idea." And then he dropped his head back down. I sat there for the rest of the meeting totally zoned out, answering that question in my head. I had had enough. The next day, I went into our high school and I interviewed our 10 young people who were experiencing foster care and had a ton of challenges in our school. And I pulled them one by one from their classroom and I asked them that question, but I got specific. What'd you eat today? Tell me how you slept last night. What do you do for fun? Who are your friends? What is your hope for your future? And across the board, they had similar answers that can be summed up like this: I live in a group home and go to school here. Your food sucks and makes my stomach hurt. I had flaming hot Cheetos for breakfast and lunch. Friends? The kids here are all bad. Fun? I go to a behavioral school. There's no extracurricular activities or sports. And hope for the future? I got a lot of blank stares. So I decided to take this really high quality research back to my leadership team and our community partners, and I proposed my theory that these kids need more of the basic things that you or I need to thrive, and that we are not going to be able to build a better behavior plan, add in more medication, or more services to work our way out of these challenges. But if we could address their core needs and provide support around their mind, body, and spirit, that one of the results would be that their behavior in school would really improve. And most importantly, their hope for the future would really change. I got a yes, and the work began. We immediately started building deeper relationships in and out of school. 2 days a week, partnering with the local mixed martial arts gym to not only give our kids an outlet, but a place where the trainers became mentors. We partnered with the local church that had an amazing high school ministry program. They just did fun well, they did experiences. Our kids got to build friendships across the city, and they got to be surrounded by adults that actually wanted to be in their life. And we saw how simple it was to meet small needs, like getting them an MP3 player so they could listen to music at night and actually sleep, or buying a lockbox so they would leave the group home after school knowing their things were safely stored away. And advocating at school so that they could change the meals. But as we began to meet these basic needs, we started to talk about other things like education and internships and connected them to those opportunities. It was pretty incredible what was happening. Literally, weeks I saw changes in the kids. So, a year from that pilot program, Found Village became an established community. We have got to welcome in hundreds of kids. We've got to expand to serve girls, and we've committed our support to at least 25. Because we are their people, we are their Found Village. And we continue to see transformational change, transitioning dozens of kids from those behavioral schools to traditional schools, stopping the incarcerations and the hospitalizations, and supporting 90% of our young people in graduating high school, and those that haven't, still with us pursuing that goal. But what is most important to us is that they have a sense of belonging. They have the power and autonomy and the vision for their future to create a pathway out of poverty. You see, we model our village of that of a thriving family. We work through relationships, we establish trust, and we use our influence to make sure that our community can come together to provide the right resources, support, and needed services and the way that they want to receive them so that they can thrive. We have amazing individuals, community partners, and system leaders who share this vision. But as we know, transformational work is hard, and we still have a lot of work to do. And I believe that we each have a way to contribute, so I invite you today to consider what that might look like for you, and to join us in strengthening our village.